Guys, we're going to talk about this tap and thread set. This is another Locksmith tool. This tool is actually really expensive as well. Comes with the tap and the die. So if you're having trouble with a mortise cylinder thread, you can use the die to kind of re-tap it. This set's not really for a full tapping of a cylinder. It's more for cleaning the cylinder, in case you were wondering about that. Because, say for instance, the cylinder fell on the ground and it damaged the threads right here, or somebody cross-threaded it into the lock. This is used to straighten the threads up. So in this particular case, we are having trouble with if somebody had screwed this and messed up these threads. It was just barely in there, and when I go to put the new cylinder in, number one, it was tight. This is one trick before you think that the threads are bad. It may just be sitting not level in the case. In this instance, these threads were tightened down, and it was putting it in a bind at an angle. So when I went to thread this in, I couldn't get it to catch. When I took the other one off, I started to unscrew it after I loosened the retainer, and it fell off in my hand, which meant it was just messed up cylinder. But one easy way to get the cylinder back in before you go grab your tap, or before you think you need a tap. Now, ideally, I would take this all the way off the door, but in this particular instance, I'm not gonna. But I am gonna loosen those screws, and then loosen the outside cylinder almost all the way, and put it back in. The threads were fine on that side, and I'm just gonna screw it in a few threads. That way, I can manipulate the bolt from the outside as I'm trying to screw this inside in. And as we see, it kind of starts at an angle. You may not be able to tell, but it wants to screw in at an angle because whoever put that last one in cross-threaded it. And any which way I do it, it starts kind of funny. So I'm going to tap it in the door. I'm going to hold it and just run this tap in there. Make sure my set screw is backed out. May have to take it out. Alright. Go ahead and take it out the door. Side where I can do it without do it correctly, I guess I should say. Sometimes you can do it with it in the door, but it looks like it's boogered up right there. So let's just started here. There we go. I think that's it. Yep. Oh, it's so rough. Oh, it just skipped sideways. Hole's not center. Sometimes this is easier than others. Looks like it's bent right there. Okay, so the inside is bent. Look at that. That's why it's not doing correctly right there. We're going to see if we can't force some new threads in here regardless of that. At this point, I would normally say he replaces this. Adam's right because of that. Now let's try to fix it. It's all because of how that curves out like that. We're gonna go with whatever we can here. Okay. We'll take what we can get, even if it is a little crooked. Alright. Now, let's put it back in the door. Again, we'll look at it, see how it's bent out right there. Hole's not round anymore. And don't forget to put these screws back tight. Okay guys, so thanks for watching that. We're going to take a real quick close look here at that since that was in the field, but let's take a look at it. So the Tap and Die HPC, as you saw in the video, used to both do the mortise cylinder, and the most frequent use for this by far is on like older mortise cylinders, or again, like I mentioned in the video, ones that have like fallen or rusted or somehow damaged and it just won't screw in. So with the die, you simply just put this in and thread it in to basically clean the threads up. Again, you're not going to be fully threading bar stock to make cylinders, most likely. Imagine you could, but that is not what these are designed for. And again, with this, you notice that kept falling out on me. I did not tighten down. This has a little set screw that holds this in at the top to keep it from falling out, and I didn't even really think about tightening this down when I was there, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down now, and that keeps that from going out. So you can move that bar up and down if you have a tight spot, especially if you're working on something in the door. You may have to loosen this or even remove it completely, but this lets you adjust that back and forth whichever way in case you have to have a limited clearance where you can't turn it. So this is obviously will clean threads on all standard size mortise cylinders. So you would simply just get it started like this with these fine threads. As most of y'all know, it's kind of hard to start it correctly, but there we go. And we just kind of move it back and forth a few times. You can spray lubricant on there. It's always a good idea when you're tapping something, but since we're not really fully tapping and we're just cleaning it, it's no big deal. So that cleans up threads on mortise locks, Adams Wright style mortise locks, and that's it.